Welcome to the First Unitarian Church of Orlando. I am Judith Stein-Farrall, Director of Lifespan Religious Enrichment here at 1U. With me today in today's service are our spiritual leader, Reverend Margalie Belizaire, our director, welcome back, Baker, Chalice Lighter, Esme, and of course, our soapboxers today. Thank you in advance for your participation. Also, a loving thank you to our teams of wonderful people behind the scenes who ensure that we come together this morning. Thank you. Children and older youth are staying with us this morning in the service. The nursery is open until noon. We greet you this morning, old friends and new, as we explore the Unitarian Universalist faith, which draws us into a community of justice seekers with a commitment to lifelong spiritual growth and compassionate service to the community. Whether today is your first or 1,000th Sunday in our midst, you are welcome here, whoever you are, whoever you love. You are welcome here. In this community, your whole self is welcome. We welcome your race, national origin, immigration status, gender identity, sexual orientation, age, physical or mental abilities, economic status, or religious background. We welcome you. For more information about our congregation and announcements, go to orlandouu.org or email info@orlandouu.org. We have several announcements to share this morning. Listen up. The official programming season is underway, and there are a lot of things coming up. To begin with, this coming Tuesday evening, September 2nd, on campus, Reverend Margalie begins The Bible and Us, a UU exploration. In alternate weeks, she will be offering daytime classes also from 11 a.m. to 12:30. This coming Friday night, we are invited for the first of the season's off-campus explorations into other faith practices. Join with others from 1U for Friday night services at Congregation Ohev Shalom. If you're planning to attend, please RSVP to me so that I can give the synagogue a count. We cannot announce all of the things coming up, so please be sure to check out the 1U calendar on our website, the weekly update, the various other social media sources for more information and to stay up to date. Sometimes things change on the fly. Next Sunday, September 7th, is our question box service. Today is the soapbox service. Next week is the question box service. Reverend Margalie is inviting us to focus questions on our responsibility to one another in this relationship of minister and members, friends. Be prepared to ask the hard questions and to hear what might be challenging responses. This service is part of the Let's Talk About Bruno series. And in 2 weeks from today, on Sunday, September 14th, is an invitation to In-Gathering, the Water Communion Worship Service. So come, dear ones, let's gather our waters as we intentionally continue to journey together spiritually. This service will be followed by a potluck, as is our custom here at 1U. And then linger a while to join the 1U worship team at 12:15 for a hive mind conversation, because your voice matters in shaping our Sunday worship. This is a chance for all of us to help cultivate the way we worship together in the months to come. We can't wait to hear what your ideas. And And Wesley and Brandon, here they come for another special announcement.
Good morning, beloveds. I'm so excited to tell you, if you haven't heard already, that the One You Salon Concert Series is back with 6 events this season, spanning from September 7th, which is next week, until March of 2026. So each one is different from the next. We're talking jazz, folk ensembles, handbells, poetry and spoken word, and even a multimedia fusion of music and art. Season tickets are on sale right now. You can grab them through the link or QR code provided. They're also available on our website and through our Facebook page through the events section. So you can order the tickets for the entire season, or you can purchase tickets individually. Here's the best part. Getting a season ticket is like getting one concert for free compared to buying them individually. It's a deal, it supports the arts and the congregation, and it makes sure you've got a front row seat for the whole experience. All of the money raised goes into covering our expenses, and then anything left on top goes right back into making this series bigger, better, and more inspiring every year. And trust me, this year's lineup, it's pretty big. So big that I lost my spot. But I'm especially jazzed, no pun intended, about our October jazz band featuring a saxophonist that will blow you away. And don't even get me started on the holiday concert, because not only will there be handbells, but afterwards a professional off-Broadway singer will be here bringing us festive holiday music, magic, and Gore Hall while eating snacks. All the snacks, all the festive goodness. So please grab a season ticket, tell a friend, and come be a part of the music, the laughter, and the joy. We cannot wait to share this season with you. Thank you.
I've got my season tickets, y'all. All right, finally, final announcement, that is, a last-minute edition. All ages are invited to join in after the service this morning, and after you've got some coffee, to chalk it up around the sidewalks of 1U. There'll be more explanation in the call to action. All other announcements are on the slides before and after the service and have links in the weekly update or on our website. If you would like to follow along to the service, please use the QR code shown on the monitor. Thanks again for being here in person and online today. And those of you online will talk about chalking it up. Melissa.
Okay, I'm ready for my chalice lighter. Please welcome our chalice lighter, Esme, who just started the 3rd grade. Woo! And say these words with us as we light the chalice. In the light of truth and in the warmth of love, we've gathered to seek, to sustain, and to share. We like to make it extra complicated for everybody lighting the chalice. There we go. Good job. Good job.
Hear ye, hear ye. I am the Reverend Margalie Belizaire, and today, the 31st day of August in the Gregorian calendar year 2025 CE, the congregation of First Unitarian Church of Orlando is called to join together for worship. As we approach our Labor Day and encourage the speaking of truth to power, thy leadership invites thee to say what is on your mind. 2 minutes thee may speak, and there will be no irreverent squeak. Instead, listening as the speakers seek the right of conscience that is theirs to share. 'Tis a gift, our UU learning, to encourage our responsible search for meaning and our freedom to voice our learning with a shared pulpit right at hand. And so again, I call you all to participate in and witness these humble opinions of worthy folk. So all that to say, if you haven't signed up, there was a signed up sheet outside. Oh, only one spot left, so I don't know. All right, so now please rise and body your spirit and join me in singing our opening hymn, number 295, Sing Out Praises for the Journey. We're only going to sing verses 1 and 3, and the words will be up on the screen, or use the gray hymnal. But before we begin, beloveds, I first invite thee to welcome and greet one another. Be sure to seek another you have not yet met. Welcome to our annual Soapbox service at First Unitarian Church of Orlando. Today, we gather in the spirit of open dialogue and beloved community, celebrating a tradition rooted in the simple yet profound act of standing up, both literally and figuratively, to share what's on your mind. The Soapbox began as something ordinary, a wooden crate, once used to carry goods, like soap, turned upside down and transformed into a platform for a voice. And that transformation, something beautiful happened. A shipping box became a pulpit, a common street corner became a commons for ideas, an everyday passerby became a speaker, a prophet, a truth teller. That is very much in the spirit of Unitarian Universalism. We believe that revelation is not sealed, that wisdom does not come from one voice alone, but from many. Each person carries a piece of truth, and each voice, whether it trembles, it sings, it jokes, or proclaims, is worthy of being heard. So today, the soapbox is yours. not just for the bold or the political or the poetic, but for anyone willing to take a stance and share it. Speak about what's big and urgent or small and delightful. Share what makes you laugh, what keeps you up at night, or what you simply can't help but notice about this wondrous, complicated world. Whatever you bring, it matters because it is yours. As we begin, let us remember the values that guide us with love at the center, such as interdependence, pluralism, justice, transformation, generosity, and equity. These values are not just words on paper, they are promises, covenants, ways of living and being together. Today, we embody them by lifting up every voice and by listening with respect and care. This is not a space for debate or division. This is a space for witnessing, listening, and honoring another's truth. In a world that so often tries to silence or diminish voices, we gather here to do the opposite, to lift them up. So come as you are, share what is yours to share, speak with courage, listen with compassion, and know that you are among friends. The soapbox is waiting. And now, with open hearts and listening ears, we turn to one another. The floor is yours, Jeannie.
Wherever you'd like.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm Jeannie Carter, and I'd like to talk about wheelchair etiquette. Some of you know I use a wheelchair for long distances due to an unusual condition that affects my feet. Many people are part-time wheelchair users for many reasons, but there's a common misconception that wheelchair users are paralyzed. If a wheelchair user can walk a little, people think they're just lazy or faking it, especially if the person doesn't look disabled. That's like saying someone doesn't look gay or look rich. It's very difficult to access places in a wheelchair, so no one would use one if they didn't have to. Yet people often ask total strangers about their disability or question their need for a wheelchair or a service dog, which is never appropriate. Next, it's great to offer help, such as opening doors or pushing a wheelchair, but please don't help without asking. Finally, I prefer the term "she uses a wheelchair," not "she's in a wheelchair" or "she's confined to a wheelchair." A wheelchair is not a cause for pity. It's a tool that gives the user freedom they wouldn't otherwise have. I celebrated when I got mine because I could go to parks, museums, theaters, and outdoor festivals for the first time in years. It's great for me. Thank you.
Good morning. Hear ye, hear ye. It's time to pony up. We got to keep the lights on. Time to be generous. I'm Margaret McLaren. I'm a member of the Board of Trustees. We're inviting you into our practice of generosity. It's one of our spiritual values. It sustains the life and the ministries of the church community, and it does a lot of other stuff, like keeping the lights on. We should be grateful for the opportunity to give. It's a privilege if we can do it, and we should. And it's not just our value. Generosity is just a good thing. It's a good thing all the way down. We should be grateful also for our needs because it gives us the opportunity to practice receiving. And we know there's a lot of give and take and reciprocity and caring in this church. It is the 5th Sunday of the month. So on the 5th Sunday, which does not happen that often actually. It's our practice that 100% of the offering will be shared with Blue. Blue stands, yeah, thank you, yeah. Blue stands for the Black Lives of Unitarian Universalism. Blue is committed to expanding the power and capacity of Black UUs within Unitarian Universalism, providing support, information, and resources for Black Unitarian Universalists, and justice-making and liberation for Black people through our faith. And we also know that social justice and working for it takes time, energy, and money. Everything takes money. 1U is honored to support the existence and efforts of Blue, and it actually speaks to our generosity as a congregation. Please give generously. Your donations can be made in several ways: by cash, by check, in the offering basket today. You can do it online through our website. You can do it directly to Blue through their website, and you can find that with the QR code conveniently up there for you. But if you do it directly to Blue, please let us know, not me personally, but our church administrator, Amy Fairweather, so she can keep track of what we've given as a congregation. All of the collection today will go to Blue, so it won't be keeping our lights on. You can contribute to that next week. Please give as generously as you can. In fact, empty out your pockets.
I'll be your candle on the water. My love for you will always burn. I know you're lost and drifting, but the clouds are lifting. Don't give up, you have somewhere to turn. I'll be your candle on the water, till every wave is warm and bright. My soul is there beside you. Let this candle guide you. Soon you'll see a golden stream of light. A cold and friendless tide has found you. Don't let the stormy darkness pull you down. I'll paint a ray of hope around you, circling in the air, lighted by a prayer. I'll be a candle on the water. This flame inside of me will grow. Keep holding on, you'll make it. Here's my hand, so take it. Look for me, reaching out to show, sure as rivers flow. I'll never let you go. I'll never let you go. I'll never let you go.
Let us joyfully receive what is offered here today in the spirit of gratitude and fellowship.
I was looking around to see if I could catch Mayor Du Bois. I think I see you back there. Mayor Du Bois is next, is our next soapboxer. Wow, you were right up here, and I...
Get up here. Thank you. Okay. Gonna hang on to this. Hi, good morning. My name is Mary Du Bois, and I'm co-chair of the 1U Green Team along with Debbie Reinhardt. And I'm coming here to say Sunday is coming. Wait, isn't this Sunday and a week from today another Sunday? Yes, of course. But what I'm here to talk about is a new Sunday holiday that is being launched the weekend of September 21st this year. That's the fall equinox. To be clear, sun worship is a long-time faith tradition, but then why are we doing some sort of new Sunday now? The spark for this idea came from somebody you may recognize, Bill McKibben. He's a longtime environmentalist and author who lives in Middlebury, Vermont. And his message is, we've created some big danger in our habitat here because we've been burning stuff. We've been burning coal and oil and gas. But we have some big, bold tools that can head off the worst effects of this. And these tools are clean energy, which of course is solar and wind. But his part of his message is we've got to use these even bigger and more boldly now. He's using this particular Sunday new event to spread the word. He wants people to know that solar and wind is not alternative anymore. It's gone mainstream. He wants to know it's much cheaper. It's not Whole Foods prices, it's now Costco prices. And because solar and wind are free, they can free us up from war and price shocks that are associated with oil and gas. Well, oops, okay.
Thank you, Mary. So this is the time we set aside for deep sharing of our hearts. There we go. This is the time in our service that we set aside for deep sharing of our hearts and for prayer and meditation. Each week we make space to share our joys and sorrows, the places of lightness and heaviness in our lives. We do this not only to express what is in our own hearts, but to remind one another that no one journeys alone. So if you have a sorrow that you need witnessed or help with, or have a joy that you wish to share, please contribute to a collective sharing of joys and sorrows to be read each Sunday during worship. You can do so during the week by emailing us at joysandsorrows@orlandouu.org. If you're attending in person, you can fill out a card, and I didn't receive any cards today, but we did receive joys and sorrows during the week by email. And today, because we want to make as much space as possible for you to speak your mind, we will use a 3-candle lighting ritual to create a container for our joys and sorrows instead of our standard candle ritual. So, as always, we invite you to bring your joys, bring your sorrows as we come together. To come just as you are, because your whole self is welcome here in this sacred space we are creating together. The beautiful flowers here are given by Carrie and Nikki Dawson Lofgren, and thanksgiving for the love, prayers, and support from our church. They are right over there, and they got married recently. And I may as well add here that right after the service, they've asked for a blessing of a little blessing ritual that we'll do here right after service. So everyone's invited to stay behind for that, and I'll remind you at the end. This note here is from Melissa Baker. 18 beautiful beings gathered this week for the second offering of Roots and Wings. Nearly 40 folks have signed on to make friends with death, and there's always room for more. See you next month. Kitty Sharman sends us this. Javier Aguilar's birthday is Monday. Happy birthday, Javier. Wesley Boyce sends a special thanks to the friends, allies, and even one new congregants who have recently stood up to the FDOT at the crosswalk by Pulse nightclub with a lot of chalk and a lot of love to ensure that our voices are heard, reminding those who wish to revise history that we cannot and will not be erased, and that love always wins. And remember, you'll have the opportunity to chalk up the sidewalks near us. So we have this sad news from John Owen. After a couple of weeks of fun travels in the Pacific Northwest, John Owen had a spill and needed surgery to repair a fractured femur. Yeah. John and Jim will stay out west to get a week or two of rehab for her repaired leg. Very grateful that their son James and wife Aubrey are taking over the management of the family's rental properties. All is well. So, of course, they would appreciate prayers and you keeping them in their thoughts. We received this note from Laurel Sue Smith that we are going to have a very informal celebration of life for Barbara Logan on Saturday, September 13. It will be held at 10 a.m. at Langford Park. So it'll be an opportunity for those who attend to share memories of Barb if they like, and there'll be light refreshment. Everyone is welcome, and if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. And the care team has their information, and we also, this information is also in the weekly update. The date for this is September 13th. We also want to light a candle, our candle of remembrance, which we light when we have members who die and pass on to another realm, depending on what you believe. So we want to light it for both Barbara Logan and also Dave Harvey, who have both passed away recently. Both longtime members of this congregation and very well beloved by many here. And for all the joys and sorrows of this community, our country, and the world, those that are shared here today, and those we continue to hold close to our hearts, let us pray, let us celebrate, and let us send each other healing energy. And I invite us now into meditative prayer on the words of Margaret Wolf. So if you would sit as comfortably as you can. Let's take a deep breath. We sit together. I tell you things, silent, unborn, naked things that only my God has heard me say. You do not cluck your tongue at me or roll your eyes or split my heart into 1,000 pieces with words that have little to do with me. You do not turn away because you cannot bear to see. You do not turn away because you cannot bear to see your own unclaimed light shining in my eyes. You stay with me in the dark. You urge me into being. You make room in your heart for my voice. You rejoice in my joy, and through it all, you stand unbound by everything but the still, small voice within you. I see my future self in you, just enough to risk moving beyond the familiar, just enough to leave the familiar in the past where it belongs. I breathe you in, I breathe you out. In one luxurious and contented sigh. In sweet company, I am home at last. Beloveds, may we do this for one another today and every day. And as I mentioned, instead of our standard candle ritual, we will light 3 candles this morning to create the container for our joys and sorrows. We will light one for joy, one for sorrow, and one for the mystery and unknown that lies before us. May these flames hold all that we bring into this circle of care. We hope to use this alternative ritual when we don't use the standard candle lighting ritual. This first candle is for all the joys in our hearts and for the beauty and wonder of this world that holds us, for the breath that fills our lungs, for the nourishment that sustains us, and for the moments that bright lightness, that bring lightness to our souls. And if the congregation would say, this second candle is for the sad and difficult happenings in our lives, for grief over the losses we have borne, for anniversaries that come tender with memories, for struggles of body, mind, and spirit, for the weights we carry in work, school, and in relationships. This flame reminds us that we need not carry them alone. Congregation would say, we hold this third candle is for all that remains unknown, a flame of mystery, a flame that reminds us that of what we know for sure is this, that we are here now with this light and this place, with companions who travel alongside us across space, across time, across spirit. Together, these 3 flames, joy, sorrow, and mystery, burn as one. They remind us that whatever we bring into this circle of care, we are held in a greater light, and we do not journey alone. May it be so.
I breathe out, I breathe out.
And now for all the other rounds. So I'm calling up Bob Ledger for Covenant Groups. And Steph Garber, you're on deck. And I would like to invite a young person up here with us so that when we have to gong people, that you can help with that. Looking for a hand.
That's good.
Oh, come on. Oh, go ahead, Bob.
Morning, everyone. My name is Bob Ledger, and I'd like to speak about covenant groups this morning. Covenant groups is another name for small group ministry. And I found my way to 1U in 2006, and within a few months, I joined the covenant group, and ever since, been doing them. I'm now an anchor of one of the groups. It is an 8-month commitment. We meet once a month, and on the third Tuesday of the month, as a matter of fact. And our topics will be in line with the sermons, or the sermon theme for that month. Let me see, what else did I forget here? When you join a covenant group, what you'll find is a very deep connection with the other members. Fairly soon after we start our sessions. We do start in October and we end in May. There'll be sign-ups starting, I think next week. It should be in the e-blast. Now, I do have a request. If anyone in the congregation has ever been an anchor or is an anchor now, if you could stand. I know there's at least one or two. All right. Now, continuing, if anyone has ever been a member of a covenant group, participate. Next week, I'll be doing a special session over in Gore Hall at 9:15 to introduce you.
Thank you. Our little friend who's a little shy, if somebody else would like to come up while Steph comes up and chat, and then Rhonda Rodriguez is on deck. Well, we're gonna.
Good morning, I'm Steph Garber. I'm going to talk about how much I love 1U. I love 1U for a lot of different reasons. I love it that it's 9/10 of a mile from my condo that I just moved into near Lake Eola. I love the after-service coffee hour that Kathy Spoon and Colleen and others put so much time into. I love yesterday working with Bob and Robert and Janice together over at the abortion replay packs. You can really get to know people when you're sitting there for a couple hours and just chatting. I loved cards that I've gotten from Caring Circle. I love flowers from Linda that she distributes to those in the congregation that are having a difficult time for one reason or another. I love having the loop for my hearing aids, and I will say thank you to everyone that was involved in getting that a reality. I love that singing 123, because in my old church we sang that every week and I miss it so much. I love when people do solos from our choir, and I think that when I hear, I'm sorry, I love new members that jump right in and start working. Wesley and Brandon and Colleen and Diane Patterson, I could name a lot of people. Thank you for doing that. Thank you. What?
While Rhonda walks up, I do want to say, come on up, Rhonda, that this beautiful soapbox there that Mike McCleskey put it together for us. So I want to say I don't think he's here today, but if you're watching online, thank you. And also, Charlotte brought me a prop. And then if another crowd would come up, go ahead.
All right, forgive the change of tone a bit, I gotta take my shot. Headline in the Sentinel, Orange County Public Schools enrollment drops 7,500. Why does that matter? More resources to go around, right? Let me explain why this is important. In the spring, every school reports to the district superintendent, we predict we're going to have this many kids in the school next year based on the census, based on enrollment trends. Every October, every school counts how many kids are in the building. We call it a warm body count. The state calls it FTE. Based on that number, the state then says, okay, your school can have this much money. That money is divided per student. If that amount of money does not match the amount of money that the school planned for in the spring, things get cut. What's going to get cut first? Teachers that were hired in the spring and throughout the summer. Teachers that will then be on the sidewalks looking for work. What can you do? You can go to school board meetings. You can demand that the school board make their budgets transparent, line item. You can ask them to do something different. Central office, make their cuts. Thank you.
Fluffy is next, and Josh Barnett is on deck. And another child, feel free to come up.
All right. Good morning, everybody. And I say good morning. There are about 150 people here in the sanctuary today. And I'd like to think back a couple weeks to August 10th. Catherine and Melissa delivered a wonderful presentation on walking with death as a spiritual practice. Now, I want to bring that up because there have also been about 150 views of that presentation online. That service has continued to be watched since it was first shown here. Our service from August 3rd, we've had about 70 views. Altogether, our online videos were watched in whole or in part about 500 times in the last month. Woohoo! Now, some views are those who click on a thumbnail, see rainbows, and run away in fear. Some will be tuning in for Time for All Ages, but some will be watching the whole service, and some even just for the sermon, just to listen to our message. We think that message is important enough to share online, so those 150 viewers can walk with death, if that's what they need. One of those many things that we love, might they love too. For our church to grow, we have to grow not just with our in-person attendance, but also to include online community members. Okay.
Josh is up, and Emmy Harbor is on deck.
I have a call to act on our shared values of interdependency and justice. I can talk. That many of you are going to find uncomfortable, so if by the end of my 2 minutes I'm only talking to a couple of you, I'm okay with that. We're living in a time of marked political hostility, targeted legislative rollbacks, violent rhetoric fueled by hate and amplified by the powers that be. In the face of all of this, LGBTQ+ individuals and other minority groups are more than ever facing kind of an urgent and sobering imperative, and that's self-defense. Defensive firearm ownership has long been stereotyped as belonging to a particular domain. It's almost a given to many that when in conflicts targeting minority groups, the majority holds a monopoly on lethal force. The mainstream debate too often upholds that, but for sexual minority members and so many other targets of rising hateful rhetoric, the act of owning and carrying a firearm is not a political stunt, but it's an existential necessity. It's not just constitutional, it's life-saving. I volunteer with an LGBTQ advocacy group that was founded after the Pulse event to offer free training in basic armed defense. I'm a formerly NRA accredited instructor with 7 years of experience teaching the fundamentals of safe, responsible firearm use. If that resonates with you, wherever you are in that particular journey, from just curious to you already own something that you need more training on, come find me. I'll be over there after the service. I'm going to look like this. Thanks.
We have Nikki on deck. Any other child who would like to come up? Right, but we want to make sure every child who wants to gets a turn. Okay, doesn't seem like anybody's coming up. So.
Sorry, I'm short. Good morning, friends. My name is Emmy. My pronouns are they, them, and I'm here this morning to encourage us to uphold our shared values of interdependence, justice, generosity, and equity by protecting the most vulnerable among us, by rising to the moment and not looking away from the facts and the data available to us. The COVID-19 pandemic has not ended. It is here and now. According to wastewater data available by the Pandemic Mitigation Collaborative Program, 1 in 50 people in Florida is actively infected with COVID-19. I encourage you to look around at the room, at the volume of people we share this sacred space with. We heard earlier there are 150 people here with us today. I'd like you to do your own mental math. As someone with a complex medical condition and terrible anxiety, that results in a weakened immune system. I mask to protect myself, but my family and I mask regularly and receive our annual COVID vaccinations in solidarity with all of you, in commitment to our interdependence with one another, and in generosity to ourselves and others. If you've recently stopped masking or never have before, if you are late on your annual vaccinations, or have yet to receive your first round of COVID shots, there's no time like the present. You can find more information on current wastewater data at pmc19.com, make a vaccination appointment at your local pharmacy, and purchase COVID tests and KN95 masks from wellbefore.com, along with many other online retailers. Thank you.
We have Kitty Sharman, or
Good to see you, Melissa.
up on deck, but Nikki is next.
Thanks. Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
I want to talk about the balance between saving and savoring the world, and specifically here at 1U. I invite you to consider Sunday mornings before church, during church, and after church, our time to savor our church. I love opportunities to volunteer here, and I'm so appreciative of other volunteers. And we get caught up in that, though, and people ask me, did you see my email from yesterday, before I'm even out of the pew? Or about tomorrow night's meeting, or could you do a flyer for me, or could you pour lemonade next week, or something like that. All of that is important, but I feel like my favorite moments are when I can't quite tell if I'm savoring or saving the world, when it's so fun to do the work. And I think the most important work we can do before, during, and after church is engage with each other and connect on personal levels, especially with new people. I'm a prime example. This morning, as I first got into the parking lot, I was thinking about the soapbox, and I had to get to the soapbox, and I had to get my name signed up. But there was a woman who was right behind me walking, who I was just intent on getting there ahead of her for some reason. But I finally stopped myself, and I turned around and I said, I've not seen you here before. My name is Nikki, and she introduced herself. Last week was her first Sunday, and I got to hear a little bit about why she's come, and that made all the difference. Thank you.
And remember, you have to have signed up to do the soapbox. So go ahead, Kitty.
What's on my mind is that I am grateful for the teachings of Abraham Hicks, which are that we are vibrational beings that live play the video game of the human experience for the purpose of joyful expansion, and that through our thoughts and our energetic vibration that we create our reality. And while that's been so helpful to me in my personal lived experience, I have been struggling with it from a sense of the collective manifestations, and kind of thinking about next week, what do I owe to myself and what do I owe to everyone else? What do we owe to each other? And that I where's the line between taking responsibility for my own manifestations and holding other people accountable for their actions? I was listening to Alan Watts, who is a British philosopher, that talked about being versus becoming, and is it better to be or become, and focusing on that. And so I asked myself, which soapboxing, not asking, but I challenge the law of attraction teachings in that, what is the right answer? Is it better to focus on being or focus on becoming when we think of collective manifestation? Is deliberate action, is goal setting the approach that we take, or is it an embodiment of our values and beliefs? And is it possible to have a balance of both, to both align with the law of attraction and with thoughts of justice, injustice, and holding leadership accountable that I feel as a Unitarian Universalist? That's what
Thank you. And the winner is, as we close our soapbox service, we might ask ourselves, who's the winner? The answer simply is, we are all the winners here. Yes. By sharing, So thank you so much for coming up and speak. For some of you, it was probably very easy. For others, maybe a little challenging, but you came up, and then thank you so much for hearing and paying attention and listening so compassionately and so lovingly and cheering everybody on. So by sharing our voices and opening our hearts, we have honored interdependence, celebrated our pluralism, and allowed ourselves to be transformed. We have practiced generosity, sought justice, and nurtured equity. The winner is the whole community, because we leave this place enriched, connected, and reminded that every voice matters. So let's go forth carrying these gifts into the wider world, speaking with courage, listening with compassion, and living with gratitude. Go in peace, beloved. Go in joy. Go in love. But before you do that, let us rise and body your spirit and sing our closing hymn, number 1010, We Give Thanks. The words will be projected on the screen. Cheered by our community, blessed by our covenant, uplifted in mind and renewed in spirit, go forth with courage and in peace to meet the day. Reverend Burton Carley. Beloveds, worship has ended, and now the service truly begins. And Judith is going to come up to give us a little bit of more information about our call to action today.
So we have a call to action today, and we have a blessing up here after the service, and we have a children's choir practice at noon. The call, it's just saying that all that fits together. The call to action today is to come join as you have time this morning, after you get some coffee and cake, and get some chalk, and participate in chalking up our sidewalks along the perimeter of the congregation of the church, and the sidewalks leading up to the sidewalks along the perimeter of the church, and share rainbows and messages of love and support what language should I use? Let's give support to the community and remind everyone that we are not going to back down. My guidance is families, anyone with children. I've been advised that Robinson can be very heavy in traffic, so if children are participating, you may have children do the Hampton side, which is a little slower traffic, and the adults handle the Robinson side of decorating. And but regardless, parents, you are responsible for keeping your children safe. I do not have staff for that today.
And where do we get chalk?
Where do you get chalk? We are supplying chalk out in the courtyard. I have a huge box, and I've had a few donations, thank you, Wesley and Brandon, as well. So there is plenty of chalk. Take what you need, use it. At the end of the day, you could either return it, or if you need to chalk up your sidewalk at home, I understand that it may go home with some people. Thank you.
And in a few seconds, we're going to extinguish the chalice. Again, if you are going to participate in the blessing for Carrie and Nicole, just remain behind. Here, it's about a 10 to 12 minute blessing, okay?
Thank you, Esme, for being our amazing chalice lighter and now the extinguisher. Please say these words with us as we extinguish the chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
Okay.